Welcome back to the Daniel and Yuka channel. Today, we're excited to share our latest adventure, apartment hunting and renovation in 2024. Since moving to Japan, we've had a dream of running a guesthouse Ryokan and have been searching seriously for over 8 months, inspecting numerous properties in various wards of Tokyo such as Asakusa, Sangenjaya and Wakoshi, just to name a few. Some properties were in excellent locations, but many were either too small, too far away to manage conveniently, or were in such poor condition that they would require substantial funds and advanced DIY skills to renovate. In 2023, we bought an Akiya house in Tokyo and tackled most of the renovation ourselves. There were a few minor issues like cracked roof tiles, but thankfully nothing structural, which was a huge relief. The majority of the work was aesthetic, and through the process we got hooked on DIY. We learned so much and wanted to take on an even bigger challenge in 2024 to sharpen our skills. We're proud of how we transformed this abandoned house into our family home. Just in time to welcome our baby boy Kyle. Since buying our first house, our criteria didn't change much in our search for a multiplex apartment building. The main difference was that we needed it to be close to home, making it easier to handle the renovations ourselves and manage the property once it was completed, especially with the new baby in the mix. 1. It needed to be about 15 minutes walk to the nearest station. 2. It needed to have great connecting trains or an express train to major stations like Ikebukuro, Shinjuku and Shibuya. 3. No major defects, such as plumbing, kitchen, toilet, bathroom, foundation cracks, major tilting, leaking, etc. 4. The total complex needed to be larger than 80 square meters and over 30 square meters per unit. 5. Restaurants and supermarkets nearby were a necessity. 6. Within our budget, or excellent value. We want to provide affordable and comfortable short to medium term accommodation for tourists seeking a home in Japan away from their home.
So this is いいよね。やっぱいいよね。
After 8 months of painstakingly scouring at home in Sumo and feeling that we would need to make some compromises, the stars finally aligned. We found a property that checked every box on our list. It felt almost too good to be true.
Okay, let's go to 101. この部屋たくさんやらないといけないんですね。もう already we have a lot of stuff here because we are preparing for the cleaning, and this is so old. This is like maybe 1970 or something. But it said the 最高級 stainless.
On a whim, we walked into a small local real estate agency, hit it off with the agent, and the rest is history. We landed an incredible deal on a 53-year-old multiplex that, despite its age and being a little neglected, was a diamond in the rough, thanks to the previous owner's construction background.
So old, isn't it? I don't know how old it is. Ooh. And toilet? Toilet is quite dirty as well. I'm thinking I can peel off the wallpaper here, but look at this. Ceiling is fine here as well. I think some leaking happened a few years ago, and then they changed all the ceiling, which was really lucky for us because changing the wallpaper of ceiling is quite hard. I don't want to do it if I don't have to. And here, so this is a Mitsubishi fan above the gas. So this is kind of old as well. I can try to start. I don't know where to push. It still works. So this is a Japanese room. All of this wallpaper. I want to change it. We should change it. I don't know why. It's just like a two-tone. So old. And this Fusuma is also getting so old.
Now it's time to transform this space. Let's dive into this renovation project together.
全部壁をきれいに剥がしました。タララーン。
One of the nice things about removing wallpaper is that it's quite a relaxing, satisfying job, as you can kind of zone out a little, and it's pretty easy to visualize your progress and see how much is remaining to remove. Yuka couldn't remove this final screw as it was rusted and stripped, so I had to try a hack we researched online to remove it using a rubber band for added friction when using the screwdriver. It eventually worked.
We just finished a lot of wallpaper off. Here, oh, here. Yeah, it's pretty tidy. And I was trying to take off this piece, but I couldn't take that off. Okay, I'm gonna do pest control. Let's do it.
Time to place the canister in the container of water so it dissolves the seal and begins the chemical reaction.
Okay, let's go. 母ちゃん、見せてくれね。いいね。いいな。鮭。No, 鮭。Salmon. Yes, it's salmon. 母ちゃん。He's supervising us. Yay!
It was the middle of one of the hottest summers in Japan when we began our DIY project, and with the occasional help of our family looking after Kyle, sometimes we were able to work together. Otherwise, we needed to take shifts and work late into the evening when it was much cooler.
I see. You've been very good boy, Kaiten. What's your toe? What are you doing, honey?
Trying to remove this stripped screw.
I know, that's so pain in the ass,
right? It's pissing me off for like the last week. So I just brute forced it and just tore the thing off, and now I'm actually finally making some progress because it's just so stripped because it's such an old screw. But now
it's coming off. Oh, すごい、やったー.
Look at it.
This was
Look at that.
so
the screw is
nasty.
completely stripped. Look at me, I'm sweating. It is the hottest day of the year so far. 35 degrees outside.
What day is today? Today's the 4th of July. Independence Day.
4th of July, yeah.
Ta-da!
We got a couch from Nitori.
いいよね。Outlet.
Let's put his.
Where? どこ? やばいね。どうする? What is doing that now?
I'm trying to get this damn screw out.
Titan, what are you doing? Off.
Stripped. Taking down the wallpaper in the toilet was pretty exhausting, especially since it was the middle of summer and such a tight space. Here, Yuka is measuring out the wallpaper. Fortunately, we had enough space to roll it out on the floor inside the unit, so we didn't have to sweat outside in the scorching sun. Replacing the wallpaper around the sides and back of the toilet made it even more challenging.
we didn't have enough wallpapers. That's why we kind of made it this side as like a wall and an accent cross. What are you doing, Daniel?
I don't know what I'm doing. That's a very interesting question. I'm getting ready to do this washlet.
I heard that you are the master of the changing the toilet.
Washing
the washlet master. I think it's quite rare to have that skill for Western, right? Because not many Western doesn't really use the washlet.
Well, they should. It should be like the #1 export from Japan to the world, right?
You think?
Instead of anime. It's a Toto washlet. I actually ordered this from Amazon because it was like 4,000 yen cheaper than the dedicated hardware store.
I remember when we first moved into Japan, Daniel was so excited to put this washlet on the apartment. And then now you have no excitement. You get used to...
we filmed it and I was literally sweating for hours because it was a big problem.
Yeah, and you didn't know how to put it on at the time, right?
I feel like I'm in that movie, what's that movie, 48 Hours or 24 Hours where the guy falls down the cliff and he gets trapped. The second one. So now you should be able to...
Oh, it's already finished? I know that part though.
This is the main part.
So, it's quite an annoying part. But actually, we need to have some tools, you know. Yeah.
After replacing the wallpaper in the toilet, we realised that the cushion flooring that we had originally replaced when we started the renovations of Room 101 didn't really look so nice with the new colour scheme or the theme of the unit. So we found a new cushion floor pattern and needed to redo the flooring in the toilet. We're much happier with the end result.
外して抜いたら出てくる。ここにレールがはめ込み式のレールが。
キッチン自体はね悪くないですよね。
綺麗になるはずよ。
Never been clean.
そう。
水漏れでもしとったらねされているけど、水漏れはないわけじゃん。
うん、確かに。
ただゴミじゃん。
Are you ready for an intense cleaning montage? Brace yourself. 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Breathe you like a cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up. Breathe you like a cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up. Still want you in my body, still want you in my veins. Yeah, my mind's getting caught and set me off like a flame. I know it's masochistic, but when you say my name, I forget how I'm supposed to stay away. Yeah. And I don't quite know how to let you go. Yeah. 'Cause I lose my caution when we're alone. No, I can't fight it. You're like lightning, won't happen twice. I'm lucky I'm mine, burning my heart up, stuck on it like a drug. I'd rather die without you. I breathe you like a cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up. Breathe you like a cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up. I still wanna light up.
As we mentioned earlier, this unit had been vacant for over 10 years, so the kitchen was caked in grease and grime that had built up over time. It took a lot of elbow grease and a variety of cleaning products to get it back in shape. We also decided to upgrade the kitchen by swapping out the old gas cooker for a modern induction cooktop and replacing the damaged kitchen bench with a sturdy, solid wooden ledge.
my god, sparkling clean じゃん。How did you clean it? It was so disgustingly oily. This was a fan cover.
Elbow grease. Once we cleaned off the grease and grime, we used a white tile grout pen to refresh the grouting, making it look brand new. Staining the floor with colour wax to even out any small imperfections and making it fresh and shiny.
Get it. あ、綺麗だね。よかった。いいね。It's so good.
So the floor, there's nothing wrong with the floor.
ね。
But I think the main thing is...
綺麗だね。You can even...
This underneath is all solid. Good.
ね。
Maybe we could just get it recovered at the tatami guy.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're gonna change all this tatami.
Since the base of the tatami in room 101 was still in great shape, we only needed to replace the top layer of straw. For the edging material, hiri, we picked a new pattern called wasabi. There's nothing like the new scent of fresh tatami, and we hope you'll love it as much as we do. Yuka's dad came to help us remove the old cracked basin. He also helped disconnect the water lines and align the new basin. It was way too heavy and awkward to handle on our own. Arigatou gozaimasu.
入れて入った。
お、いいじゃん。Perfect じゃん。あ、できた。ただー、we made it!
Disposing of bulky items is a real problem in Japan, so we needed to reduce the size of the large, heavy cracked porcelain sink and the water-damaged sides by smashing it with a hammer. Some friends of ours wanted to learn how to replace fusuma and apply wallpaper, so they joined us at the apartments for a few days of practical hands-on experience. We were so grateful for their assistance, as it really helped speed up renovations. We wanted to add a unique touch to room 101 and came across a stunning print of the Great Wave off Kanagawa online to install on the Hon Fusuma. Aligning the two halves was a bit challenging, but we're thrilled with how it turned out. We needed to install weatherproof power outlets for the outdoor washing machines and also replace some lights and indoor power sockets, so headed to the hardware store to gather the necessary materials. Some of these lights were extremely old, and we wanted to ensure everything was safe with updated wiring. Recognizing that working with electricity can be hazardous, and to maintain safety compliance, we contacted our friend, a licensed electrical contractor, to assist with installing the new lights and power outlets both inside and outside the apartment. This light above the kitchen sink was installed in 1989, so it was 35 years old. Wow. Safety and compliance are very important when working with electricity. Several of these old lights were hardwired directly into the mains, so they had to be removed and rewired to fit a standard Japanese light fixture for easier replacement of lights in the future. She did a fantastic job, and we're so glad that we can now change the lights when we want to. We wanted to put up some privacy fences between the two units in the back courtyard, so one rainy day when the heat wasn't too intense, Yuka's dad came over to help us build them from scratch. We also wanted to put some privacy mesh on the upper fence to hide the neighbour's window and make it look cleaner and more modern. How do you think it turned out? After removing the old gas cooker from the kitchen, we needed to build a new wooden ledge for the induction cooker. We headed to Shimizu Homes to get some wood precision cut on their specialised machinery. It was incredibly affordable at just 55 yen, and the process was super quick.
So I'm making.
Next, we wanted to stain the wood a darker colour to give the kitchen a refreshed and more modern look. Since the wood was already a light colour, Yuka applied one coat, waited for it to dry, and then added a second coat for more even coverage. Didn't Yuka do an amazing job?
So I cleaned some parts of unit bus. 汚いね、still ね。I tried to use a lot of different tools, especially for like craftsman, it's like a professional one, but it didn't really work. Especially this was so dirty. Still 見てこれやだ。
We bought the most heavy-duty cleaning product that we could find, Domestos, which cut through the years of grime and dirt in the bathroom and the tracks of the concertina door once we got down and used a toothbrush. The Domestos also made short work of the marks on the ceiling around the old ceiling lights. But it was very tiring, scrubbing the entire ceiling. In order to be issued with a Ryokan license allowing 365 days a year bookings, we needed to do some additional steps, including installation of a security camera outside. We found a Eufy brand solar wall light cam, which was easy for us to install and check if there's any problems by the entrance. For compliance, we also needed to have a contractor install special linked smoke alarms in both the bedroom and the lounge, as well as emergency exit lights by the front doors, which were wired into the fuse box. One of the last steps was installing high-speed internet, and we opted for Neuro's 10 gigabit fiber. This service offers blazing fast connectivity, perfect for both business visitors and families who rely on speedy internet access. The installation team arrived in a truck equipped with a hydraulic aerial work platform lift to begin carefully running fiber optic cables along the street poles, one by one, until they reached our building and the splitter box outside. Now, our guests can experience maximum speeds on recent phones or devices, whether they connect via Ethernet or Wi-Fi. We're excited to announce that RakuNyan Villa, Room 101, Great Wave, and Room 102, Zen Fusion are open for bookings for your next trip to Tokyo. Please check out rakunyan.com for more information about all the great things around the area and to make a reservation. Please use the code NyanyanYT for a 10% discount off your booking. Thank you so much for watching our video to the end. We hope you enjoyed our transformation of these neglected apartments into RakuNyan Villa. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, don't forget to remain curious. Mata nyan!
Jenna's passed out.
Exhausted from all this renovation.
Go away.